Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Malkiv Mayhem. Now today's episode is a little bit special simply because of the fact that you guys, the viewers, have given me 1,000 page views. I broke that threshold this last Wednesday, so I thank you so very much for all your continued support and views. Now, today is also my 4th episode, and it also happens to be May the 4th. So, May the 4th be with you. Today we're going to change up the formatting a little bit. I'm still going to include the time link below to skip straight ahead to the PvP footage, but before the PvP footage, I'm going to show a little bit of a tips and strategies section just for some pointers for people who might be new to the Vanguard or Powertech advanced classes. So with that, let's go ahead and get started on our first tip. A great thing to remember in Novara Coast or Alderaan Civil War is to use Carbonize whenever people are trying to cap, or use Flamethrower, or a combination of both. Also, whenever you're in Voidstar, use your grapple to yank people away from the door instead of just shooting them to stop them from capping. And then whenever you feel like you get too much heat put on you, don't hesitate to pop Hydraulic Override, maybe even your shield, in order to get out of the fight and get to a health pack power up. And then finally, whenever you're helping somebody cap, be the distraction. Start off with your small stun in case they break free from it, then you can follow up with your big stun and allow your teammate to cap. That puts a huge damper on them trying to prevent you from capping. Here in this fight against Dwayne, what kept him out of this fight and from doing any damage to me is the fact that I was using Quell, and I was also using Carbonize as an interrupt. I don't like to use my big stun unless I'm going in for a flamethrower kill, but as you can see here, I was using Carbonize for a defensive interrupt instead, and he pretty much got no damage on me as a result of that, and I was able to take him down with very little effort. Here we see how powerful Flamethrower really is. I apply it and you see this guy melt underneath of it. It's really pretty incredible to see that. Here I am at about 70% health and I get attacked by a shadow, and I don't have a lot of defensive cooldowns up, so I go ahead, stun him, I start popping what couple bursts that I do have that's available to me, and then I just start using tech attacks. I don't use Flamethrower because I don't want to stand still and give him the opportunity to get any gain on me more than what he already has. I keep with it, I eventually chase him off the platform, and I get down on the first floor for a kill, and it feels glorious after that hard fight. I was going for this guy whenever I was jumped by the shadow, and then so I was lucky to find him again. And this is another case where Flamethrower paid off huge dividends because I just put down some huge numbers on top of him whenever he started standing still, and I was able to wipe him just off the face of the earth. And then we've got another instance where I'm low on health, I start getting attacked, and in this fight I actually got kind of lost there for a second. He escaped me, but I was able to keep enough of pressure on top of him that I got him eventually, and I was actually able to chase him around a little bit and then eventually nab him, which is the big thing here, is just to use your mobility and be persistent and save your cooldowns for the right time. This fight with Theus really shows that Powertechs are so resilient. The total mitigation that you get, not only from passive mitigation but also from using your flame burst on a target and combustion, it just makes for a really good defense. And I had 3 people on top of me at this point, and I was able still to down my target using Flamethrower and putting out some big numbers there. And after I got done killing my original target, I actually got my secondary target down pretty low. Again, I'm against Theus here, and I've included this clip to show that even though I have a very mobile class, the mobility of the player is what's very important. I kept falling off this little downed piece of platform that I couldn't get back up on top of it. It just seemed like I kept on hitting Alt instead of the space bar, or for whatever reason I just could not stay up there. And it's probably what ended up keeping me from dying, is because Theus was staying up there and I was constantly keeping out of his melee range. Unfortunately, sometimes whenever I was on the bottom, it would say that I was out of range, and I eventually got it though, and it was definitely an interesting fight. Here's a fight against Jerbear. She's a healer, and for me, that's my primary targets that I go after. The sustained damage is a huge plus whenever you're going up against a healer, and she melted quickly under my pressure. Here in this fight against Elle and Lamperouge, they caught me alone at a node. But I had 5 stacks saved up, so I immediately used Flamethrower on Elle, got her pretty good damage, and then I used the Carbonize on the both of them. That takes them out for 3 seconds because of the set bonus that I get with my Combat Tech armor. So for 2 global cooldowns, they're basically not able to perform any attacks, and whenever you're going against 2 DPS like I was, it's very important for them not to get any damage there on you for just that brief amount of time. And even though I was putting some serious numbers down on top of Lamperouge here, he was still able to kill me since I had so little HP left after I got done beating Elle. And after he killed me, he was actually able to go and cap the node. I spawned immediately and took the speeder there, killed him, capped it again, and then waited for him to come back and land. And here he is, so we got our fair 1 versus 1 duel. And he immediately opened up with a stun, which wasn't that good because he didn't follow it up with any good attacks. You always want to save your stun for something that you're tactically going to do, whether it's apply a large amount of DPS, like using your Flamethrower here, or if it's going to be to get around a corner to LOS or to try to reset the damage. Now, eventually my buddy did come and assist me a little bit, but I got him pretty fair. Here in this next one against Lamperouge, he's attacking somebody trying to cap the node. For me, it's easier for me to just go ahead and start downing the people that are attacking the people trying to cap the nodes, try to get them what's called a peel, trying to peel them off of the capper so that way that person is attacking me instead, and Lamperouge just wasn't going to have any of that, which is good on his part, but unfortunately he also wasn't managing his cooldowns very well and ended up dying to me really easily, and I didn't even have to pop any burst on him. And so that's a good lesson to be learned, manage your cooldowns. And that concludes this week's episode. I hope you all have enjoyed the footage. Now, if there's anything you would like to see more of, see less of, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. I enjoy responding to all comments, so feel free to leave anything that you'd like down there. Now, next week I'm going to be doing about the same thing, and we're going to be touching a little bit more on tips and strategies, so stick around for that next week. It'll be uploaded on Friday. With that, this is Malkiv Mayhem. Peace. I am out of here.